In this video, we're going to look at how we can go about creating an algorithm to find the mean and standard deviation of a set of numbers. We won't do median. It's a bit fiddly. There's a few more things that happen, but we'll do the mean in this one, and we'll see if we do standard deviation. So to find the mean, we know that the mean is the sum of a set of numbers, which is then divided by the amount of numbers. So if our numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have to find the total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then and have to divide that by 5. So what we want to think about some of the things there. So we're going to need some variables. We will need at least one ADT. Okay, so looking at that, I know if I'm finding the total, I'm going to need a variable called total. So I'm going to variables, then one called total, and I'll have to set that to 0 to start with. I'm going to need something called mean or average, and I'm going to say set that to 0. I'm also going to need to declare my list, so I'm going to call that my list, and I'm going to say that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to add all of these numbers in this list. So what we're going to do is we're going to say for each number in my list, the total becomes the total plus the number. And then what we'll do is we will then say that the mean is equal to the total divided by 5, because we see there's 5 numbers there. But what if our list doesn't have 5 numbers? Well, we should use a variable, and then we should find the length of the list on the fly. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to have the, I'm going to call it list length. List length doesn't matter, I'm going to put list length equals len, and we're going to do my list. And instead of 5, I'm going to say my list there. So this is when if a pseudocode, Python is very easy to translate it. So I declare the variables and the ADT, which is here, and what I added along the way was this list length to make it quicker. Not to make it quicker, but just to make it so we can change this length of the list. Okay, so from there, what we're going to do is we are going to build this in Edgy. So here's Edgy. So to do that, I'm going to make a variable. So I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to call it total. I'm going to make another variable. Call it mean. Over here, I'm going to say set total to 0. Duplicate that. Set mean to 0. I am also going to make another variable and call it list length. And I'm going to set list length to 0. And I'm going to check this out. So total mean list length. Okay. So I'm going to need another. I'm going to need a list. I'm going to call it my list, and I'm going to set my list to a list, which is 3, 4, which is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, table isn't working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there we have it. So what I'm going to do, I will now go. I need to use the for loop. So for this, we find here in control. We go to control for each item of, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to say for each item of my list, set total to total operations plus item. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to set my over here, we'll set this one to, so I think the list, my list, and I will say set the mean to totally as maths operator. Variables total divided by this length. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that adds up to 15. 15 divided by 5 should give us 3, let's see. And then we have our mean of 3. If we want to change that, 6, oops, no, 6, no, 6. Our total is 21. 21 divided by 6 is 3.5. And there we have it. That's how we go about doing that.